Hey there, my incredible female leaders, and welcome to another episode of She is a Leader, the podcast where we get real about what it takes to build a business that supports your life instead of consuming it. And today we're diving into something that probably has you kept up at night at some point, just like it has me: our relationship with money. Let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I shouldn't be charging that much? Yep, that comes really natural to me. I felt guilty for just asking for a payment. Or my personal favorite, I'm in business to help people, right? I'm not supposed to be getting rich. Trust me, been there for years, as I was caught in that loop of wanting to help everyone, undercharging for my services, and honestly, being comfortable with struggling because it was what's familiar to me. But here's what changed everything for me: understanding that money doesn't equal wealth. Money equals freedom. Having money in your bank account means you have the freedom of choice to do what you want to do. Freedom to weather any storm that comes your way. And in today's episode, I am going to take you through my own journey of transformation when it comes to my money mindset. And I'll share exactly the exercises I have done, the struggles I have gone through, and just the shifts that helped me break through those limiting beliefs. And it's an ongoing process. I am not perfect yet either, don't get me wrong. And by the end of this episode, I hope, and I'm sure, you'll have practical strategies to reframe that imposter syndrome, that money mindset that says we are supposed to help people and not charge, the fear, the anxiety of making money because maybe subconsciously you think you don't know how to actually manage how big you want to grow your business, multi-million-dollar company. It's frightening to think of that and think of the responsibility, especially if you've never been in that situation. And I promise you, you can do it, and I'll take you along my journey to give you the tools and resources to be able to clean up what other people told us and those limiting beliefs that might be holding you back from that. Now, let me grab my coffee because when I do solo episodes, we get comfy. I'm not wearing any makeup. I got my second coffee for today. And actually, especially in this episode, this coffee has a significance. Yeah, I know we're talking about money, but actually, money is a freedom of choice. When I was starting to work on my money mindset, and you might have heard the story before, I ask myself, what is luxury for me? Because when you work on manifestation, right, you want to live it before you are it. Because your brain can't make a distinction between what you think and what is reality. Your thinking is your reality. Now, how does this funnel in with my coffee right now? If you're listening, you are missing out on one of the most amazing cappuccinos I have done in a while in my favorite coffee mug, actually a German company. If you can see it, if you are watching the video, it is New Wave from Villeroy and Boch. Literally everything about this coffee is luxury to me. It's a specific mug, it's a specific spoon. Yes, literally, even on my Nomad, I brought my coffee maker, I brought my mug, I brought my spoon, I brought my coffee, I brought all the things. And here's why. back in the day when I started working on my money mindset and what luxury means to me, I was exploring how I can bring luxury into my life on an everyday basis. And I'm like, every time I go to Germany, I go into an Italian cafe and I get a cappuccino. I'm sorry, Americans, you don't know how to do a real cappuccino. This whole coffee crema BS, no. A cappuccino is supposed to have a nice layer of foam and some cinnamon on it and some chocolate on it and other things. That is my luxury. My luxury is sitting there in the morning and having a good cappuccino, which is why I did this. And that's how my money mindset journey actually started, because we as women have so much social conditioning, especially as Germans. Money doesn't grow on trees. Oh my God, whoever freaking came up with that limiting belief. So that in combination with our helper syndrome, which is literally just genetics. Females are the ones that are carrying the child, that got to raise the child, that got to make sure the child survives. That is so much back in our history. It's in our genes. So the combination of external conditioning, where we have been told money doesn't grow on trees, to our genetic conditioning of, quote, raising children. No matter if you raise children or not, it is in your genetics. We are in our genetics built to help people, to raise children, to build villages, to build communities. All of that can work against our money mindset. It can put us in a situation where I'm not supposed to be charging for this. This is easy. This is coming to me. I am charging too much. Why am I charging? I'm supposed to be helping people. Oh my God. The stories I have told myself in my head. Oh my God. Don't even get me started. I literally could do 5 podcast episodes just on the limiting beliefs around money. But let's not do that, because we don't want to get stuck in those limiting beliefs. Just know we all have them. We all have them to some level, because nobody is getting out of childhood without any issues. Our parents wanted to keep us safe. Our parents want the best for us. And there is no handbook. Yeah, there is at this point, there is studies and stuff to help parents, but there is no real handbook on great parenting, right? How many of us don't see the issues and the limiting beliefs initially that we carry around? And as parents, we come from this. So nobody is getting out of childhood unscathed, right? However, it is our responsibility to change that if we don't want to do this anymore. And it started with a coffee for me. One of the biggest mindset shifts that had to happen for me is the realization that money equals freedom. Money equals freedom of choice. And that is one of the big things why I'm so passionate about with Ask Evie, to help female entrepreneurs build their own freedom of choice. What do I mean by that? Think back to COVID. The years we have spent in COVID and the stories that came out of it. You had people that were stuck in a different country after the lockdown. If you are just barely skating by paycheck to paycheck, that means you have a problem. You might not be able to work from the location you are at because your employer is like, yeah, no, we are not doing this. Not happening. Being an entrepreneur and working client to client to client and not having the financial freedom of your business runs without you. You have the money in the account to just stay another 3 weeks in Bali because you choose to do so. When you are in a relationship that might not be what you expected it to be, and you have the financial freedom to make the choice to leave that relationship. That is freedom. That's what comes with money. Being able to pack up your car and drive up to Victoria and spend a few months on Vancouver Island and then decide, cool, we are packing up again and seeing somebody else and meeting another friend. That is freedom of choice. And that's what money gives us. And not only that, having money in our bank account and having the safety of knowing we have a safety cushion of 3 months or 6 months now gives you the brain freedom to go play, to say, hey, I want to try something new in my business. You can, because you have money in the account. That gives you that freedom and that feeling of safety to take a risk, because if it doesn't work out, cool, we have other things. I have a fallback. Not only that, now suddenly you have money in overflow and you can give money, you can donate money, you can do things for causes and your community you care about. That is a huge money mind shift. The next money mindset shift that happened for me is, yes, we give money power, we give money energy. Now let's take this to the next level. The exchange of money is an exchange of energy. How often have you heard somebody say, it's worth as much as you paid for and you didn't pay anything for it? Exactly. There is a perception behind a price tag that your client brings in. This is why you hear so many coaches talk about charging more. There is a pain threshold. And I'm not saying charge an outrageous amount of money to have the commitment of your client. I'm saying charge by the level of commitment you want from your clients. And you need to work your way up to it. Don't get me wrong. Especially when we are starting out, there is a lot that funnels into being able to charge a certain amount of money. You need to know, like, and trust. People need to know, like, and trust you. So it takes time to get to a point of just being able to charge how much ever you want, because you need to build this connection. And that might be a sales funnel where you build that know, like, and trust, or really understanding yourself, really understanding your client. And now we are getting into full-on branding. Let's skip right here because it's going to turn into a 3-hour podcast episode if I go the route of branding. Coming back around to how this funnels into money mindset is, it's an exchange of energy. Sometimes money feels dead to us. It's like, oh my God, it's stress and we need to make it and all the things. No. Money is a way for your client to give you energy, to give you their commitment. Meaning it is a, yes, I am committed. Yes, I will be doing this. Yes, I want to work with you. And it gives you that energy of, oh my God, yes, I want to work with this client. Oh my God, yes, I want to make the time to do the things I might not want to do to see this client succeed. It is a complete different energy that you carry for a client that you charged your value. You see how I didn't say worth, I said value. Worth has been really construed in today's marketing scheme and language and all the things. The value you provide. And switching between, first of all, realizing the old money beliefs that I had, living my luxury with my morning coffee and literally taking it nomading with me, changing how I perceive getting paid by my clients by, it's not just a piece of paper, it's energy that they are giving me, has completely changed how I look at money. It also means the more I have in my bank account, the more energy I have. And with that, yes, there is still some struggle for me when it comes to the belief of I can run a multi-million-dollar business, because I haven't run a multi-million-dollar business before. I've helped multi-million-dollar businesses create their systems and processes. That's the funny thing. I have helped other people run multi-million-dollar businesses, yet here I am still being concerned on some level that I can't do it. Really? Really, Amy? We'll be working on that one. Another part of this whole money mindset shift is surrounding myself with women that have the right mindset. There is a lot about language. As you know, I'm an NLP master practitioner, and I really, really care a lot about language. There's a lot of presuppositions we put into our everyday language. And being around women that are struggling with money will put these presuppositions potentially into me if I don't catch them. So putting myself in situations with women that are entrepreneurs, that are running million-dollar businesses, puts me into, first of all, an energy situation, but also a language position that changes my thinking subconsciously. Now, women like that will never say money doesn't grow on trees. They will never do that. So with that, just putting myself into these situations and into these rooms means my language changes because their language is different. And by association, mine will change too. I also put myself into situations where if something comes up, if a conversation happens, I am right there. And with all of this together, I now can work on my manifestation. I now can build these pictures of what do I want my life to look like? What do I want my business to look like? And suddenly all of that actually works, because just doing affirmations, just doing your money manifestation is not going to work. It's like you are going for a week to Bali and you are completely unplugging from your everyday life. You are healthy, you are drinking your green juice, you're doing your gym work, and you're doing all of the things to then put yourself back into your everyday life situation and not bringing these habits back and implementing them when you are still surrounded by people that drink every night, that party every night. It's not going to work. Just because you spend half an hour manifesting money, but you are not changing your everyday and you're not changing your mindset, it's not just going to fly into your lap. These all work together. And with that, it is really interesting for me to look back over the last few years of how I have handled setbacks when it comes to money, how I'm showing up with clients when really presenting them with their proposal, or when I'm being asked what my hourly rate is, or any of these money conversations have completely changed because I've done the work, because I've put myself into certain rooms, because I surround myself with people that help me get out of those limiting beliefs, get out of the old programming, into the new programming, and then turning that into habits through my affirmations, through my manifestations, through cleaning up my language consistently. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean challenges don't arise. That doesn't mean everything is always perfect. That doesn't mean I necessarily know every single day and every single minute what exactly to do. But I have the tools and the resources to manage all of this. I have the freedom of choice to choose where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do, and who I'm going to surround myself with. I would like to challenge you with a couple of exercises. We're not just here to just talk about this. Yes, these episodes that I do where I'm sharing my journey are to bring forward the struggles I have so you can realize similar struggles that you might have. But none of these matter if we don't take action on them. So I am challenging you right now. Start listening to the voices in your head. And if you don't have them, girl, my head is off to you. I know there's a couple of people that don't have a voice in their head. I have multiple. Ha! Yeah, at least 10. Listen to the voices. What are you telling yourself subconsciously about money? What are you telling yourself subconsciously about money? Secondary, how are you budgeting and managing your money? I had moments where I did not want to look at my finances. I didn't want to look at them. I didn't want to deal with them. I put them in a box because I knew there was nothing I physically could do about them right now. I was in such a bad financial position that I just couldn't deal. If you're in that, put it in a box right now, get working, get the money in the door. The moment money comes in the door, what are you doing to budget as well as pre-plan and assign the money that is coming in? I have multiple videos on my YouTube channel over at Ask Evie. We are talking about profit first here. We are talking about budgeting. We are talking about managing finances and Google Spreadsheets and ClickUp. I have resources for you. Third, how are you making the best in your business? You don't have to hire people in your business. There's a lot of automations. There's a lot of systems and processes you can implement to make the most of your time and your resources. Your time is valuable. Stop working like just charging $15 an hour. That budgeting does not work. And I probably should do a video at some point about the budgeting, because you need to pay taxes. You need to pay for your marketing. You need to pay for the time when you are working admin work. You cannot just charge 15 or $25 an hour. That is not feasible financially. So with that, check your surroundings, check your voices. What are you subconsciously believing about money? How are you managing your finances? How are you managing your business to make the most out of your money and be able to scale your business? Because you are out of your business. You need to be out of your business. If your business relies on you, you do not have the freedom of choice. You are not going to be able to have that safety of knowing money is going to come in even if life hits you over the head. There's your to-dos for this episode to make sure you have the freedom of choice and you can focus on your money mindset and the work to get to the place where you want to be. And it's a daily practice. Right now, it's more like a weekly practice of mine to really get there and do these things, because it's an ongoing work. And yes, you get to take a break. It doesn't have to be a daily thing. You get to call it and be like, I don't want to deal with it this weekend. I'm just putting it all in a box and I'm just going to be on my jammies on the couch hanging out with you. As we wrap up this episode, I want you to take a moment and really just check in with yourself. How are you feeling about money right now? Did anything we talked about spark a realization or highlighted a belief that might be holding you back? Remember, shifting your money mindset isn't just about making more money. It's about creating freedom in your life and your business. Freedom to make choices that align with your values. Freedom to support causes that you care about. Freedom to weather any storm that comes your way. Just like we experienced during COVID, when having financial security allowed me to pivot and adapt. You can do this. The journey to transform your relationship with money isn't always easy. There's going to be days where you're struggling. There's going to be days like I have where you just want to put it in a box, take a day off and come back to it, because it is absolutely worth it. And you don't have to do it alone. Your limiting beliefs around money aren't facts. Let me repeat this. Your limiting beliefs around money aren't facts. They are stories you've been told or you have told yourself, and you have the power to rewrite them. I want to leave you with this thought. Every time you honor your value and your worth, charge appropriately for your services, and build financial stability and security, you are not just serving yourself. You are setting an example for every woman watching you. You are showing them what's possible. You are creating a ripple effect that expands far beyond your bank account. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your biggest takeaways in the comments and on social media, and tag me at AskEvie or at SheIsALeader. I want to celebrate you. I want to learn from your insights. And if you know any other amazing female leader who needs to hear this message, share the episode with her. And until next time, financial freedom isn't just about you, it's about all of us. Go build your freedom of choice, and I'll see you in the next episode.